Thieves in Chula Vista, beware. The city has some new technology to try to catch you and other thieves.
Plus, a former campus supervisor at a local middle school makes his first court appearance, accused of sexually assaulting a 12-year-old student.
Neighbors in Logan Heights upset about this construction site that will soon be an 18-unit condo building. We'll hear from them and the developer that got his project fast-tracked by the city.
Paintings that are so precise, they look like pictures. Christopher Peluso and his many gifts to San Diego, coming up in the Zeppeli Zone.
This is CBS 8 News Live at 6.
Car thieves in Chula Vista, consider yourself warned. Police are using new technology to track you down. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. They're also hoping the automatic license plate readers will help solve other crimes. CBS 8's Steve Price has more tonight on how police say the technology will improve public safety.
With more and more cars being stolen here in the city of Chula Vista and the thefts of catalytic converters also on the rise, Chula Vista police are fighting back with some new technology, and they hope it won't just help them solve those crimes, but others as well.
You may not see it as you're driving down some of Chula Vista's most popular streets, but it sees your car and your license plate.
We're expecting to see some great successes probably pretty quickly.
Sergeant Anthony Molina says the city has already installed 81 of the 150 automatic license plate readers that were unanimously approved by the City Council last October. CBS 8 was at that meeting where residents overwhelmingly spoke in favor of the program.
We have to protect the victims. And far too often what we're doing is protecting the criminals.
While some at the City Council meeting did express privacy concerns, police say the readers do not track people. Instead, they capture license plates and enough of the car to identify the make and model. That information can then be used to spot stolen cars or vehicles leaving the scene of a crime.
I can tell you, especially with even in looking at my past of being an investigator, there's so many cases where this type of data can help solve these crimes,
including missing person cases, which brought Maya Miliete's sister to that City Council meeting to support the readers. Maya vanished without a trace in 2021.
It's my sincerest belief that if Chula Vista and the surrounding city had the license plate readers activated at the time of her disappearance, the investigators would have greater chance in locating her.
Police aren't saying exactly where the cameras are located, but they've been strategically placed at popular ingress and egress locations around Chula Vista, especially near freeway on-ramps.
As criminals start to pay attention to this and realize we're looking for all sorts of ways to hold them accountable for what they're doing, then we hope, one, they stop doing it here or altogether.
The city hopes to have the rest of the cameras up in the next month or two. In Chula Vista, Steve Price, CBS 8.
A Degano Middle School campus supervisor has pleaded not guilty to sexually assaulting a student under 14 years old. Omar Galena is behind bars tonight after prosecutors say he molested one student and gave marijuana to another. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is live for us tonight at the North County Regional Courthouse in Vista with details. Kirsten, how long has Galena been working at that school?
Yeah, 3 months. 21-year-old Omar Hernandez Galena had only been working at that school for 3 months when deputies say they arrested him after he met up with the students over the weekend, had sex with one allegedly, and gave weed to the other allegedly, all this weekend. Prosecutors tell us that Galena's victims were both just 12 years old.
The defendant would communicate with the minors via text messages, specifically a WhatsApp. As you heard in the arraignment, he would tell these minors to delete those messages because there would be consequences for him.
Deputy DA Nareda Bowman says Omar Hernandez Galena is facing 12 charges, including 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child, 4 counts of forcible lewd act upon a child, 3 counts of furnishing cannabis to a minor under 14, and 3 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
The alleged offenses occurred March 23rd and March 24th. We believe that this defendant had communicated with the minors prior to that. that they had he was someone that worked at their school that they knew.
San Diego Union High School District sent out this letter to parents on Monday saying Galena is no longer an employee. Galena's original bail was set at $235,000, but was changed to no bail because prosecutors say Galena is a threat to the community.
Given my concerns that he potentially might flee, now that he knows what charges he's facing, as well as the potential consequences of those charges, as well as my concern for the remainder of the students at that school.
Galena's attorneys did not speak on camera, but said in court he should be released on bail because,
given the unsupported nature of the DA's claims that he is contacting the victims and asking them to erase text messages, we believe that could be protected with a criminal protective order.
When asked if there are other potential student victims, prosecutors say,
as part of the investigation, that is always something that we look for to see if there are any other potential victims. But as of now, given that this just happened very quickly, we are still undergoing the investigation and trying to figure everything out.
Galena's next court appearance is set for April 23rd. Detectives say if you know anything that could help them out in this investigation, please call law enforcement. There's also a students speaking out hotline where students can call and report any suspicious activity or behavior. I'm going to give you that number. That number is 888-580-8477. Again, that's for students speaking out. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Kirsten, unfortunately, there have been a few reports about students being sexually assaulted in the news recently. Are these cases happening in the same school or same district, or are these happening all over the county?
Unfortunately, Carlo, you're right. They are happening, but it is all over the county. We have 3 different reports, again, from different schools, different school districts, all for you on our website, cbs8.com.
Thanks, Kirsten. The brother of former Chula Vista Councilwoman Andrea Cardenas was sentenced today to 45 days in work furlough and 135 days in home detention, avoiding jail time. Jesus Cardenas pleaded guilty of 2 counts of grand theft last month, admitting he cheated the government out of about $200,000. He will be required to pay that money back and be placed on probation for 2 years. His sister is sent for sentencing in August.
An apartment building project with 3 of 18 units considered affordable housing got fast-tracked by the city under an affordable housing program. CBS 8's Anna Laurel went to Logan Heights and found neighbors are worried about the impacts the building will have on them and say neither the city nor the developer seem to care.
A 4-story, 18-unit condo building is going up on that corner. 3 of the 18 units are considered affordable housing, and the project got fast-tracked by the city. Neighbors are upset about the way the whole thing went down, or the way it's going up, as it were. But we spoke with the developer, who says he's doing what he's allowed. Crews are just breaking ground on this new apartment building in Logan Heights. Neighbors say they had no idea anything was happening where a duplex used to be here until a construction crew showed up last month.
We shouldn't be disadvantaged because a developer is taking advantage of streamlined policies to make these affordable housing units go up.
The project was fast-tracked under the city's infill development initiative called the Complete Communities Housing Solutions Program. I spoke with the building's developer, Alexander Alamani.
If you provide affordable housing units a certain percentage, right, you're able to take advantage of this density bonus program, build a larger project, and they'll give you some incentives, leeway with setbacks and height limits.
And that's where neighbors are having a problem.
I'm restricted by 20 feet. I'm restricted by the setback rules. I'm very interested to see if they are, which I know they're not for the height because this is a 60-foot tower.
We have solar on our property that we invested in to try and save on energy costs. The shadow from that building will completely block out the sun, meaning that our solar becomes obsolete.
And in this part of Logan Heights, the city waives parking requirements so the developer doesn't have to provide on-site parking, hoping people will use public transit.
My issue is that he has rammed through this affordable housing project, taken advantage of laws that Todd Gloria has passed.
In fact, neighbors pointed out to us that the developer's wife works for Mayor Gloria, so I asked him about it.
Does your wife work for Mayor Gloria?
She is the campaign coordinator.
And has she worked for him in the past?
She has. In his administration.
Alamani says he can't make everyone happy. He's helping the city address its housing crisis, and he's done everything he's legally required to do.
What the neighbors should do is, speak to the city, not just with development services, speak to their local council member, speak to the mayor, and get involved to address their concerns, because those are the policy makers, right? I'm just implementing the policy that the city has already adopted.
In Logan Heights, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
Thanks, Anna. Sacramento is now a sanctuary city for transgender people. It is the first designation like this for a city here in California. The Sacramento City Council voted on the declaration last night. The new policy will restrict city staff from using time, money, or resources to help other states that might take legal action against people who seek gender-affirming care in Sacramento. Advocates and opponents of the policy spoke inside and outside council chambers last night.
This sanctuary city is saying that we will promote the idea that people could be born in the wrong body, and that we will kidnap children coming into our state or into our city to give them these surgeries. And we cannot be doing that.
They've moved to Sacramento, they've come here, and they found a welcoming home for themselves.
There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you.
There are currently 23 states that restrict or ban gender-affirming health care.
The Aztecs are less than 24 hours away from their NCAA rematch with UConn, and tonight the SDSU bookstore is already sold out of its Sweet 16 merchandise.
That's off the shelves, but the good news is that there's still plenty of other March Madness merchandise available. If the Aztecs win tomorrow, they will have Elite 8 gear for sale in the store, so you might want to be prepared before it sells out. I think it sold out in about an hour or so, the Sweet 16 merch. The Aztecs tip off tomorrow at 4:39 p.m.
Still ahead tonight, why Lego is telling one Southern California police department to back off.
Plus, an assault and near kidnapping caught on camera outside of a local deli. Tonight, we hear from the 8-year-old boy's father.
We are still holding on to that sunshine. It has been absolutely beautiful throughout the day. We still have it all the way through Friday. Then the storm clouds roll in. All those details are coming up.
And up next, our Verify team breaks down the controversial immigration law in Texas.